Well, hey kids, it's that time again for Inspirado Projecto with your host, Kurt Glendenon. Yeah!
What you just heard there was my buddy John Garside. I've known him, I don't know how many years now. Jeez, almost as longer than 15, I think. We worked together on Max Neptune. He did the voice you just heard. He also has a so we worked on Max Neptune and the Menacing Squid, a retro sci-fi, which, by the way, I've got to say, I got to commend him on his courage, because he set out to want to make this retro sci-fi that was inspired by the old serials like Flash Gordon and Commando Cody, and make it as if those guys back then had the technology we do today. So many folks were going, why are you gonna do that? Why are you gonna try to make a retro sci-fi film? Just do something easy. Just shoot something in an apartment, one location, couple of people, rom-com. Do that. Make it real simple, real easy. And he goes, no, I want to make a science fiction film. So we used a lot of green screens. And it was like a dream come true. When I was a little kid and I saw those behind the scenes of the X-Wing fighter flying, and then also with the Millennium Falcon, and they're all in there and they're looking out, and it's just a blue screen. It was tricky trying to wrap my brain around that. So ever since a little kid, I always just imagined, okay, you know what? Someday I'm going to fly a rocket ship. I'm going to know how to do it. And after enough times of just living out here, deciding to just work on student films through USC. I wanted to work with tomorrow's Spielbergs and George Lucases, and work with these guys. And sure enough, I worked with these guys. I built up a couple of some stuff I did, and there were trailers for it and stuff. So when it came time for Max Neptune, that was back in MySpace days. John Garside found me. He was looking for people who might be interested. I don't know exactly what kind of keywords he put in to lead him to me. That'd be interesting to hear his side of the story. And he found me and he said, hey, would you like to be in this movie? And here's an example. And he sent me a sample of what Colin Fleming did. It was a 30-second example. And I said, oh my God, I've always wanted to be in something like that, where I have to act against something that's just not there. And I went out there, I drove out there, I auditioned, I had such a blast. They had a part of the cockpit of the X-1 already built. And so basically we shot it over through weekends, over the course of probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then the rest of that time, it's probably 4 years, of he and Colin just doing their due diligence and editing it, rotoscoping things, adding the visual effects. They had about 8 different computers together. They bought these computers for pretty inexpensive, I suppose, at the time. They had about 8 computers. They put it together, made what they called a render farm. So all these brains were working together as one, rendering things that would, like 20 seconds, it would take them 8 hours, 9 hours to render this thing. So there's a lot of stuff to put together. They were going to their day jobs, coming home, and then working on their night jobs, which was the movie. And so they did that for an extended period of time. And then all of a sudden, bam, here it was. They finished it, out it went. And since then, John has picked up making Forgotten Tales, which is all about, which started in in the Whittier region, and investigating, what's going on up around in my area. And he sort of is becoming, it's awesome. He worked on Marty's Corner, which was a TV show. He directed that for many years. And then he went on to make Forgotten Tales. And he's like the Indiana Jones of his area. He's learning all about the history there. He's bringing up these stories that all these people are just crazy about it. They're inviting him to come out to lecture at places. So that goes for you too. I hope if you're listening to this, he only charges $500. He's gotten so many offers now, he now has to charge to make it, to drive out to these places to help provide for his family and stuff. There have been times where this family has had to sit in the car waiting in there for like 2 or 3 hours while he was in there, and they're waiting, and he's waiting for the people to have him put up his his episodes and then talk about it, because he does Q&As. It's just amazing. He's brought out so much. So now, there's value in this, and a lot of these places, if they really find value in the stories that he's telling, they will pay for it. Why not charge $5 to get to hear something like that? People will pay it. $5, my gosh, that's not much. So they could pay him and then charge money. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. Really, he's just charging $150, but I think he's worth even more than $500. I think thousands of dollars. So hire him for your event. It's worth it. He's got a lot of stories, a lot of stuff that can't even make it into the movies because he just doesn't have time. There's just no way to power pack all of this extra stuff. If all of those extra little things are even stories just in themselves a lot of times. He is going off, he's finding pieces of airplanes. He's finding, looking through microfiche. I mean, he's been given the keys to the city. This guy, police officers are using his videos to help train other police officers. His stuff is featured in the colleges, in the high schools. He's becoming in an extra level, in addition to what Huell Hauser was doing, he's adding extra levels to that. He's bringing communities together. People are recognizing him as he's stopping at local burger joints, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's you, or Starbucks. They're recognizing him from his videos. It's awesome to be recognized for, telling the tale, the long-lost tale of someone's grandfather, someone's dad, someone's uncle, and they go, oh my gosh, I got all these, Uncle Kevin had all this stuff in his, that's what happened for the Electrodome. Relatives came out and they go, oh my gosh, that's what my grandpa did? Oh my gosh, saw all these old photos. We have all these old photos in the closet, and it never had any sort of frame of reference as to what these photos were about or anything. And now you're telling the story, and I see those photos, and it's Grandpa, and he's in those. Oh my God! Now all of a sudden these people are coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy. It's amazing. So anyway, please check out Forgotten Tales podcast. If you like podcasts, please check out Forgotten Tales. It's amazing. This guy really, really gets to the bottom of the story, and if he doesn't get to the bottom of the story, he gets as close as he can. This guy isn't just talking hearsay here. I mean, he's going deep into the archives. He's talking to living relatives who then provide him with even more stories and more information. It's crazy. He's like a detective. He's a historical detective. Detective of history. It's astounding. It's astounding. If anybody deserves a time machine, it's him. So please check out Forgotten Tales. Check it out on YouTube as well. I had the good fortune of being a young and an old, at the end of his life, William Workman. Wonderful story there. Check out the story of Turnbull Canyon Road. Check that out. It's great. Josh, my brother Josh, had the opportunity of playing the guy who steals my... Well, it's historical, but... steals my farm. Steals all my land. So... oh man, I got to shoot a cannon. I got to yell fire while a real-life cannon was being shot. That was crazy, huh? Battle of Providencia. Check that out. The Battle of Providencia. I'm so proud of John Garside. So yeah, check out Forgotten Tales. And there'll be more later on Inspirado Projecto.
Hey Inspirado, this is Connor, just calling to let you know that we had published your story as a draft, or we saved it as a draft, so it didn't get published, but we are going to be putting your intro at the beginning of our episode that's coming out tomorrow, so you can listen forward to that. Thanks so much for getting in touch with us again. Feel free to stay in touch. All right, have a good one.
Welcome back. And where did you go?
To a comedy show.
Who did you see? Who was playing?
I don't remember their names. A bunch of guys.
So they must have really impressed you. What's one of the jokes?
Very good. I just couldn't remember.
What's one of the jokes you remember?
They're kind of dirty. I can't really repeat them.
What if you repeat them in a G-rated fashion? Substitute certain words for other words. Ready? And action.
There was one. It wasn't dirty, but the guy was talking about how expensive living is in Los Angeles, and he said that he found an apartment under the Hollywood sign for like $1,000 a month or something. He's like, "All right, I'll take it." And the lady's like, "But I have to tell you something. There was a guy who used to live here, and he was a heroin addict, and he died. He overdosed and died." And the guy's kind of like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Well, is there on-site laundry in this facility?" Or he didn't even care. He was just happy that it was the building was so cheap.
So is there on-site laundry?
And then he told his girlfriend about the place, and the girlfriend's like, "I can't believe you get a place where the guy died and he OD'd in this apartment." And he's like, "So what?" He's like, "What is he gonna do? He's like the most chill ghost if he did come back,
Oh,
you know?
geez.
Like, he's gonna sit on the couch and we're gonna hang out and like play video games and stuff. Like, it's not like he'd be a scary ghost, you know?"
That's a good way of putting it. Oh my god.
Hi. I'm a big fan of the Inspirado Projecto, and I just want to say thanks, and keep up what you're doing. That's it. That's all. Thank you. Thanks.
A wine should have body. Pure alcohol doesn't. And it's terribly important in human character for there to be a blend of materialism and mysticism between sensuality and spirituality. See, people who are purely sensuous and materialistic get very boring. You can fill your lives with all good things, with Alfa Romeos and hi-fis and wonderful cameras and girls with beautiful bodies and Chris Crafts and dry martinis and Chanel No. 5, And after a while, if that's all you've got, it gets sickening and the bottoms begin to feel like plastic and the martinis taste like medicine. And somehow, you get a distaste for life, and even for mountains and trees and waters. And then on the other hand, the purely spiritual approach to things is too rarefied, too earnest, too abstract, too purely Euclidean. And the people who are intensely spiritual colorless, lacking in humor, and never are able to meet one as man to man with a kind of a friendly leer in the eye. That's terribly important.
I just had this idea for maybe he's a superhero. Maybe he adopts the name Imaginor, the Imaginor. The things that you see, he can imagine. He can just imagine stuff, and you see it start. Like if you were to see it like a special effect, you'd start seeing the backgrounds or the foregrounds or whatnot, whatever he was imagining. You could start seeing it transform and shapeshift, and it's all coming from his brain. Maybe he's got a crystal on his forehead, and it enhances his third eye. Maybe it's a helmet that he puts on. Well, maybe he's got a crystal on his forehead, and on top of that, he takes a helmet, and the helmet has that crystal, and it just amplifies it. And he goes, and it clicks in there, and then he just imagines it. So he can imagine his reality to become anything. Anything fantasy-oriented. It's kind of like having virtual reality, yet it's coming right out of your brains. And so people, because of his powerful imagination, they actually get caught up in it, and they sort of unwillingly, maybe they start unwillingly become parts of that imagination. So I'm imagining he's almost kind of like the Scarecrow, like in that one Batman movie where they sort of start hallucinating. But really, his imagination is just so powerful. Maybe that's what it is that people start tuning into it. It's such a strong signal. People start tuning into that imagination, stepping into it. They're able to peer into that same lucid concoction.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Orson Welles, and these are your 100 benefits of ozone therapy. 1. Improved circulation. 2. Cell energizer. 3. Vitality booster. 4. Immune enhancer. 5. Skin purifier. 7. Oxygenates hemoglobin. 7. Neutralizes acid. 8. Liver cleanser. 9. Kills parasites. 10. Combats chronic fatigue syndrome. 11. Corrects dizziness. 12. Blood purifier. 13. Relieves muscle aches. 14. Builds muscle. 15. Combats depression. 16. Neutralizes stomach acid. 17. Overcomes weakness. 18. Corrects memory loss. 19. Enhances immune system. 20. Fights bronchial problems. 21. Prevents tumors. 22. Decomposes plague. 23. Increases cellular vitality. 24. Boosts energy. 25. Fights flu. 26. Releases tension. 27. Burns fat. 28. Protects against stroke. 29, kills virus. 30, blood booster. 31, speeds healing. 32, improves digestion. 33, clears out brain fog. 34, cleans mucus. 35, kills candida. 36, improves heart function. 37, fights infection. 38, prevents sudden heart attack. 39, kills bacteria. 40, relieves angina. 41, heightens alertness. 42, prevents colds. 43, stops cancer cells. 44, neutralizes chronic hostility. 45, calms nerves. 46, speeds recovery. 47, oxidizes poisons. 48, breaks up cholesterol. 49, eliminates lactic acid. 50, speeds athletic recovery. 51, improves mental quickness. 52, strengthens immune system. 53, improves vitamin uptake. 54, kills candida. 55, improves mineral absorption. 56, destroys harmful microorganisms. 57, oxidizes morbific material. 58, balances acid alkaline. 59, decreases stress. 60, improves amino acid utilization. Let's read that again, ladies and gentlemen. 60, improves amino acid utilization. 61, improves brain function. 62, oxygenates pancreas. 63, kills bad colon bacteria. 64, ignites carbohydrates. 65, helps supplements to work better. 66, burns off excess sugar. 67, enhances mood. 68, purifies liver. 69, oxygenates the spleen. 70, improves mental stability. 71, speeds up faulty metabolism. 72, clears out dirty fluids. 73, detoxifies the lymph system. 74, prevents degenerate diseases. 75, prevents premature aging. 76, prevents irregular heartbeat. 77, prevents gangrene. 78, prevents peripheral vascular disease. 79, fights herpes. 80, kills worms. 81, fights emphysema. 82, prevents angina pain. 83, prevents shingles. 84, prevents fever blister. 85, prevents asthma. 76, prevents Lyme disease. 87, fights parasitic infection. 88, fights fibromyalgia. 89, prevents Epstein-Barr. 90, prevents cluster headaches. 91, prevents cardiac arrhythmias. 92, disperses heavy metal toxicity. 73, prevents allergies. 94, neutralizes environmental toxicity. 95, prevents Alzheimer's. 96, prevents constipation. 97, prevents nerve-related diseases. 98, prevents gastrointestinal disorders. 99, prevents MS. "100 detoxifies every cell in the body." Drink your ozonated water. And now, an easy way to take your own picture
Professor Butts goes over Niagara Falls in a collapsible ash can and hits upon an idea for a simple way to take your own picture. Wiggle big toe. Pulling string. And raising hook, which releases spring and causes hammer to strike platform and catapult small person to trapeze. Weight of small person causes bar to tilt and pull cord, which upsets pitcher of syrup. Syrup drips on camera bulb, attracting hungry fly, which swoops down, allowing weighted end of bar to lift screen, which has been shutting off vision of mouse. Mouse sees cheese and jumps trap. Snaps, causing swatter to swat fly, thereby squeezing bulb and taking picture. If picture is no good, don't blame it on invention. It's the way you look. By Rube Goldberg and Associates.